Kale wiped the sweat from his brow as he stared at the broken console. Sparks were flying from the alien device he had accidentally damaged, and the hum of malfunctioning machinery filled the cramped repair bay. He had been warned never to touch alien tech, but curiosity and a little overconfidence had gotten the better of him. Now his mistake could cost him his life. "You!" a voice boomed from the entrance. Kale turned sharply. The being before him was like nothing he had ever seen. Standing over 7 feet tall, its skin shimmered with shifting shades of blue and silver, and its eyes glowed with an intelligence that made Kale feel small. The alien's presence radiated authority, and Kale could feel every hair on his body stand on end. "You damaged my property," the alien said, its voice deep and resonant, vibrating as if it could shake the very air. "Do you understand the gravity of your actions?" I'm sorry," Kale stammered, backing away. "I didn't mean to. I wanted to see how it worked." "I didn't know." The alien, whose name Kale would later learn was Vera, did not seem interested in apologies. It stepped closer, its gaze piercing through Kale. "Apologies mean nothing. This device is priceless, and its repair is beyond the capability of your species." "You owe me a debt," Kale swallowed hard. I don't have the money, I'm just a mechanic." Vera studied him for a long moment as if weighing the worth of a human life against the cost of its device. Then it spoke again. "If you cannot pay in currency, you may pay in service. Repair my ship before it departs. Fail, and you will die." The words were simple, but the weight behind them made Kale's stomach drop. Death was not new in his line of work, but facing it in front of an alien of this magnitude was something else entirely. Still, there was no choice. He nodded, swallowing his fear. "I'll do it. I'll fix it." Vera's glowing eyes narrowed, and for a moment Kale thought he saw amusement flicker across the alien's features. "Very well. You will board my ship and work under my supervision. Understand this. One mistake, and it will be your last." The ship was unlike anything Kale had seen. Its walls shimmered with light, and panels responded to touch in ways that defied human engineering logic. Screens projected three-dimensional images, showing star charts, energy flows, and systems that Kale could barely comprehend. Every step he took made the floor hum beneath him, and the air smelled faintly metallic, yet not unpleasantly so. "This is where you will work," Vera said, gesturing to the heart of the ship, a large chamber filled with devices that seemed alive. "These systems are intricate. They require understanding, precision, and intuition. If you fail to grasp them, the consequences will be dire." Kale nodded, his hands trembling slightly. He had fixed human engines, alien engines of simpler design, and even some hybrid systems, but this was a challenge on a level he had never imagined. Still, he reminded himself, humans were adaptable. If anyone could find a way, it was him. He got to work, examining the central console that controlled the ship's engines. It pulsed with energy, tiny lights flickering in patterns that seemed almost like communication. Kale traced the circuits with gloved fingers, careful not to touch the wrong component. Every adjustment he made caused a shift in the hum of the ship, and he realized that this craft was not just a machine. It was almost alive, responding to his actions in ways he could not fully predict. Hours passed. Kale worked tirelessly, deciphering alien symbols, interpreting glowing patterns, and calibrating systems using trial, error, and intuition. Vera watched silently from a distance, its presence both intimidating and strangely reassuring. The alien did not intervene, but Kale could feel its attention, sharp and assessing, like a constant pressure at the back of his mind. "Your species is persistent," Vera finally said, its voice cutting through the hum of the ship. "I did not expect this level of determination." Kale paused, wiping sweat from his brow. "Humans are good at surviving," he said simply. It was the truth. In the face of danger, humans adapted, improvised, and overcame. It had allowed him to survive countless jobs on frontier worlds and engineering projects that others had deemed impossible. Vera tilted its head, considering the statement. Perhaps, your persistence may serve you well here, but understand this, I will not tolerate failure. This ship's mission is critical. One error could endanger more than yourself. Kale nodded, feeling the pressure but also a strange spark of excitement. This was not just a job. This was an opportunity to test himself against something truly extraordinary. Days passed. Kale lived on the ship, eating what Vera provided, sleeping in a small compartment, and working nonstop. He learned to interpret alien signals, to manipulate systems with precision, and even began to anticipate the ship's responses. Slowly, he earned a measure of Vera's respect, not through words, but through actions. Every repair, every adjustment, every calculated risk demonstrated his skill and determination. One evening, as Kale adjusted the navigation array, a sudden surge of energy shot through the ship. Alarms blared and panels flickered wildly. He froze for a moment, then reacted, tracing the energy flow and rerouting circuits to stabilize the system. Sparks flew and the hum of the ship threatened to overwhelm him, but Kale persisted. Vera appeared beside him, its eyes glowing brighter than usual. "You handled that well," it said. "I would not have expected such intuition from your species." Kale allowed himself a small smile. "Humans, we survive by thinking fast and acting faster," he said. The alien's expression was unreadable, but Kale felt a subtle shift, a glimmer of approval. As the days turned into weeks, Kale and Vera developed an unusual partnership. Vera taught him about alien technology, culture, and philosophy, while Kale taught Vera to appreciate human ingenuity, creativity, and adaptability. They communicated in a mixture of words, gestures, and technology-assisted translation, and slowly, a bond formed, not of friendship in the human sense, but of mutual respect and curiosity. Kale found himself looking forward to their interactions, to the subtle guidance in Vera's words, and even to the rare flashes of humor that occasionally slipped through the alien's serious demeanor. He could feel that Vera was watching him closely, not just for mistakes, but for signs of creativity, courage, and perhaps something deeper. One quiet night, Kale sat in his small compartment, staring at the alien star charts projected above him. He thought about the life he had left behind on Earth, the mundane repairs, the simple routines, the predictability. Here, on this alien ship, everything was uncertain, dangerous, and exhilarating. He had survived not just through skill, but through intuition, determination, and the willingness to face the unknown. The next morning, Vera approached him with a new task. "There is a critical system I need operational before we depart. It will require your full attention and ingenuity. Are you prepared?" Kale stood, feeling a surge of confidence. "I am," he said firmly. He had come this far, survived this long, and learned more than he ever thought possible. "I'll do whatever it takes." Vera's eyes glowed with something Kale could not interpret. Approval, curiosity, something else entirely. He would soon find out. Together they approached the system. Sparks danced along the panels, lights pulsed in patterns that seemed almost alive, and the hum of energy filled the chamber. Kale's hands moved with precision, guided by instinct and understanding. Vera watched, silent but ever present, a steady force that both challenged and protected him. Hours later, the system stabilized. Lights stopped flickering, energy flows normalized, and the ship's hum became steady and calm. Kale stepped back, exhausted but triumphant. Vera's voice broke the silence. "You have done well. You have not only repaired my ship, but you have proven the worth of your species." Kale looked at the alien, a mixture of relief and pride washing over him. "I just did what I could," he said. "No," Vera said softly, almost reverently. "You did more than that. You adapted, you learned, you persevered, you have earned my trust." For the first time, Kale felt something more than relief. He felt connection. In a world so alien, so vast, and so unknowable, he had found someone who recognized his worth, not for what he could pay, but for what he could do. And for the first time, Kale wondered, what else might be possible between a human and an alien, when trust and respect could be earned through courage, skill, and heart? The alien ship drifted silently through the stars, its hull gleaming under distant suns. Kale sat at the navigation console, eyes scanning the strange array of symbols that represented routes and trajectories in a galaxy he barely understood. Every adjustment he made was careful, precise, and deliberate. He had learned much in the past weeks, but the complexity of this ship and its mission kept him on edge. Vera appeared beside him, tall and calm, its glowing eyes observing his every move. "You have adapted quickly, human," it said, its voice smooth but carrying weight. "Few of your species would survive even the first week aboard my vessel." Kale rubbed his temples. "I've had to learn fast," he admitted. "Everything here is different, but I've learned a lot from you. That helps." Vera studied him quietly. "Adaptation is valuable. Curiosity even more so. Your species surprises me, human Kale." Kale felt a strange pride. Humans often had to survive in dangerous and unpredictable conditions. On Earth and its colonies, adaptability, problem-solving, and courage were essential. And now, in the midst of alien technology far beyond his comprehension, those traits were proving vital. The calm was broken when alarms suddenly blared. Lights flashed across the ship's interior, and a low rumble vibrated through the floor. Kale's heart raced. He had been expecting challenges, but this was immediate and dangerous. "Status?" Vera demanded, moving swiftly to the central console. Kale traced the readings, his fingers flying over the touch-sensitive controls. "Energy spike in the aft section. Systems are overloaded. If we don't stabilize it, the ship could lose propulsion, or worse, it could explode." Vera's eyes glowed brighter, and Kale noticed the first trace of concern, or was it respect, in them. "Then do what your species does best, solve it." Kale didn't hesitate. He had seen failures before, and he knew panicking would only make things worse. Using a combination of instinct and technical knowledge, he rerouted power, disengaged non-essential circuits, and began isolating the failing component. Sparks flew, and the hum of the ship grew deafening, but Kale persisted. Minutes felt like hours. His hands were blistered from working on components that seemed almost alive, pulsing and shifting as he adjusted them. Vera hovered nearby, offering subtle guidance but never touching or interfering directly. It was as if the alien wanted Kale to succeed on his own. Finally, with a final adjustment, the energy flow normalized. The hum of the ship steadied, lights stopped flashing, and the ship's systems returned to equilibrium. Kale stepped back, breathing heavily but victorious. Vera's voice broke the silence. "Impressive. Your species' ingenuity is remarkable. You did not merely repair the systems. You anticipated a failure that even my technology could not predict." Kale wiped sweat from his brow and allowed himself a small smile. "I just followed what I know. Humans survive by thinking fast and acting faster." Vera regarded him quietly for a moment. "And yet there is more. Your courage, your persistence, these qualities are rare in the galaxy. Your species, perhaps underestimated, has hidden strength." For Kale, the praise was unexpected but welcome. He had faced danger before, but never on this scale, and never with an alien who actually recognized his worth. In the weeks aboard the ship, he had become more than a mechanic. He was a vital part of the mission, and perhaps even an ally in Vera's eyes. Days passed, and the ship approached its destination, a remote sector of space, known for its treacherous asteroid fields and unpredictable energy storms. Vera explained the mission. The ship needed to deliver critical supplies to a hidden research station, but the route was perilous, and few beings could navigate it safely. Kale's role had become crucial. His human intuition, combined with his rapidly growing understanding of alien systems, made him indispensable. The journey through the asteroid field began. Kale worked at the navigation console, adjusting the ship's trajectory in real time. Asteroids drifted dangerously close, some larger than mountains, others small but fast enough to pierce the hull. Vera piloted the ship expertly, but it was Kale's quick calculations and human instinct that prevented disaster. At one point, an enormous asteroid suddenly veered toward the ship. Vera froze momentarily, but Kale acted immediately. Using a combination of thrusters and power redistribution, he guided the ship around the rock, narrowly avoiding catastrophe. Vera's eyes glowed with what Kale could only interpret as admiration. "You saved us," it said simply. "I did not anticipate that maneuver." Kale shrugged, smiling with relief. "Humans improvise. We survive by acting when others hesitate." Vera studied him, and Kale felt a connection forming, a bond of trust and respect. It was more than professional, it was personal, yet neither spoke of it directly. Words were not necessary. The shared experience, the mutual reliance, and the dangerous situations they faced together were enough. That night, Kale lay in his compartment, staring at the stars projected above him. The galaxy seemed vast and infinite, but for the first time he felt like he belonged somewhere beyond Earth. Vera's presence, their partnership, and the mission itself had given him a purpose that he had never felt before. The next morning, the ship encountered an unexpected energy storm. Waves of electromagnetic radiation surged across the hull, interfering with the ship's systems. Alarms blared, lights flickered, and the ship rocked violently. Kale sprang into action, running to the central console. Vera followed, its expression unreadable. "The storm is stronger than predicted. You must stabilize the systems quickly." Kale nodded, taking a deep breath. "I can do this." He analyzed the ship's energy grids, identifying weak points and potential overloads. Using a combination of rerouted power, manual recalibration, and sheer ingenuity, he began stabilizing the ship. Sparks flew from the panels and the air hummed with energy, but Kale persisted. Every decision mattered, every second counted. Hours passed in a blur. Kale's hands moved with precision, guided by instinct and understanding. The storm raged outside, but inside the ship he fought to keep it alive. Finally, with a final adjustment, the system stabilized. The alarms stopped, the lights steadied, and the ship's hum returned to its calm rhythm. Vera approached him, its glowing eyes reflecting the dim light of the cabin. "You have done more than repair the ship, human. You have protected it, and by extension, me. Few beings would possess the courage and skill to endure what you have endured." Kale, exhausted but exhilarated, smiled faintly. "I just did what I had to do." "No," Vera said softly. "You did what few could. You demonstrated the worth of your species. Humans are underestimated, but your traits, creativity, courage, persistence, are remarkable." Kale felt a warmth in his chest. It was not just pride in his work, it was something deeper. Vera's acknowledgement, the respect he had earned, and the unspoken connection between them made him realize that this mission was changing him in ways he had never imagined. Over the following days, the ship finally reached the hidden research station. Kale's skills had ensured its safe arrival, and the delivery was completed without incident. Vera, impressed and silently approving, allowed Kale a moment of respite. As they rested, Kale reflected on everything that had happened. He had come aboard this ship as a debtor, facing punishment for a mistake. Yet through determination, skill, and the uniquely human ability to adapt, he had not only repaired the ship but had proven himself indispensable. More than that, he had formed a bond with an alien being whose power and intelligence dwarfed his own. Vera approached him later, standing silently beside the console. "Human Kale," it said, its voice calm and even, "you have exceeded expectations. You have proven the value of your species in ways that may change the perception of humans in the galaxy." Kale looked up, feeling a mix of pride and humility. I thank you. I just did what I could. Vera's eyes glowed softly, and Kale thought he saw a hint of something more, approval, perhaps even admiration. Do not underestimate yourself. Your courage, ingenuity, and persistence are rare qualities. Remember this, human. These traits will carry you far in the galaxy. For the first time, Kale realized that he had not just survived, he had thrived. He had faced danger, uncertainty, and alien technology beyond his understanding, and he had succeeded. He had done it with skill, creativity, and heart. And perhaps most importantly, he had earned the trust and respect of an alien whose world was so different from his own. As Kale looked out at the stars from the ship's observation deck, he knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, and he had a place in it. With Vera at his side, not just as an overseer but as an ally, he felt ready for anything. The bond between human and alien had been forged through challenge, respect, and shared trials. It was unspoken, yet undeniable. Kale could sense that this partnership, born of necessity, might grow into something far greater. And in the vast, endless expanse of space, Kale finally understood what humans could offer: ingenuity, courage, persistence, and the ability to inspire even the most powerful beings to see value in unexpected places. The ship glided silently away from the hidden research station, its hull shimmering under the light of distant stars. Kale sat in the observation chamber, staring out at the endless expanse of space. He felt a strange mix of exhaustion, relief, and anticipation. The mission was complete, but something deeper had shifted within him. The bond he had formed with Vera was undeniable, even if neither had spoken of it directly. Vera appeared beside him, its presence calm and commanding. "You have done well, human Kale," it said, its voice steady yet carrying an undertone of sincerity. "Your actions ensured the success of this mission and the safety of this vessel. You have proven the value of your species." Kale smiled faintly. "I just did what I had to do. I couldn't have failed." "You could have," Vera replied softly, "but you did not. That choice and your ability to act under pressure defines you. Humans are underestimated, yet they possess qualities few can match: adaptability, courage, and ingenuity." Kale's heart warmed at the praise. For weeks he had faced alien technology, energy storms, and life-threatening challenges. Through it all, his uniquely human traits had allowed him to survive, adapt, and ultimately succeed. But the words from Vera carried more weight than any mission report or technical achievement. It was respect, acknowledgement, and something more, something personal. The silence of the observation chamber stretched between them. Kale felt the urge to speak, yet words failed him. He had come to respect Vera not just as an alien superior or ship owner, but as a being of intelligence, power, and unexpectedly profound depth. He wondered if Vera felt the same toward him. Finally, Vera spoke, breaking the quiet. "You have proven your worth, human. And now you must choose your path. Return to your life among your species or step into a world beyond your understanding by my side." Kale's mind raced. To return to Earth or its colonies would mean leaving behind the adventure, the challenge, and Vera. But to stay meant stepping fully into an alien world, one he barely understood. And yet, something within him stirred, a desire to continue to explore, to share in whatever lay ahead. Kale hesitated. "I want to stay. I want to learn more. I want to be here with you." Vera's eyes glowed softly, a warmth that Kale had never seen before. "You choose not out of obligation but of desire. That is rare, human Kale. Your courage extends beyond survival. It reaches into trust and companionship." The words hung in the air. Kale felt a thrill of anticipation, not from danger this time but from possibility. He realized that his human traits, courage, persistence, creativity, had not only saved the ship and completed the mission, but had also bridged the vast divide between species. In a galaxy filled with differences, humans had something unique. the ability to inspire connection, to earn trust, and even to inspire love. Vera extended a hand, or what could be considered a hand by human standards. Then you will remain, and we will face the galaxy together. Kale took it, feeling a sense of unity and understanding unlike anything he had experienced. It was more than a partnership. It was the beginning of something profound. Over the following weeks, Kale settled into life aboard the alien ship. He continued learning about Vera's technology and culture, but now with a deeper sense of purpose. Every day, he discovered something new, a system he could optimize, a method of energy distribution that even Vera had not considered, or a strategy to navigate dangerous space anomalies. His contributions became integral to the ship's operations, earning him not only respect but genuine admiration from Vera. The two of them faced numerous challenges together. They navigated asteroid belts, evaded hostile patrols, and explored uncharted regions of space. Each trial tested Kale's human ingenuity and his growing trust in Vera, and each success strengthened the bond between them. One day, while charting a route through a nebula, the ship's sensors detected an anomaly, a massive gravitational distortion threatening to pull them into a deadly vortex. Vera assessed the situation quickly, but even its calculations indicated significant risk. Kale studied the readings. "There's a way," he said, his mind racing. "If we redistribute the ship's mass and use the energy conduits differently, we can stabilize the field long enough to pass through safely." Vera looked at him, a faint glow of surprise in its eyes. "That is unorthodox, but your species' creativity may indeed provide a solution. Execute it." Kale worked rapidly, rerouting energy, adjusting thrusters, and coordinating with Vera's commands. The ship groaned under the strain, systems pushed to their limits, yet Kale's intuition guided each move. Slowly, the vortex's pull lessened, and the ship glided safely through the heart of the nebula. Vera's voice was calm, yet carried unmistakable approval. "You have done it again, human. Your intuition and creativity saved this vessel." Kale leaned back, breathing heavily. "It's just what humans do. We survive and we find ways forward." Vera regarded him silently for a moment. "Indeed. Your species, persistence, and ingenuity are extraordinary, and your presence has become invaluable to me." The words struck Kale in a way he had not expected. In the midst of stars, dangers, and alien technology, he realized that he had found something rare: recognition, respect, and perhaps even love. Vera, a being of immense power and intellect, had come to see him as more than a human mechanic. He was a partner, an ally, and someone worthy of trust. As the ship continued its journey, Kale and Vera spent time together beyond the missions. They shared observations of distant stars, discussed the philosophies of different species, and even experimented with human and alien techniques to improve the ship's efficiency. Each moment strengthened their understanding of each other, and Kale felt a growing warmth in his chest whenever Vera was near. One quiet evening, Kale found himself on the observation deck, watching a binary star system twinkle in the distance. Vera joined him, standing silently beside him. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Vera said, "Human Kale, you have changed much since arriving here. You have not only adapted, you have improved in ways I did not anticipate." Kale smiled softly. "I've learned from you too. I never thought I'd be part of something like this, or meet someone like you." Vera's glowing eyes met his, and for the first time, Kale sensed vulnerability beneath the alien's calm exterior. "I did not expect to value a human's presence beyond their utility. But your courage, insight, and companionship have affected me in ways I cannot ignore." The words were simple, yet profound. Kale felt a rush of emotion, a mixture of joy, relief, and anticipation. He realized that the bond they had forged through trials, trust, and shared purpose had grown into something deeper, something that transcended species, worlds, and expectation. "I feel the same," Kale admitted. I came here to fix a ship, to repay a debt, but I stayed because of you, because I respect you and I care for you." Vera's glow softened, a subtle warmth radiating from its form. "Then we are aligned, human Kale, not by debt, obligation, or necessity, but by choice. Together we face the galaxy, guided by trust, understanding, and connection." Kale felt a sense of completeness he had never known. In a galaxy full of dangers and uncertainties, he had found someone who saw him not as weak, but as capable, not as inferior, but as equal. And in doing so, he had discovered that human traits, courage, creativity, persistence, and heart, could inspire even the most powerful beings to see value in unexpected places. From that moment on, Kale and Vera moved forward as a team, partners in exploration, challenges, and discovery. Every mission, every obstacle, and every triumph strengthened their bond. Kale's human ingenuity and adaptability complemented Vera's advanced technology and intellect, creating a partnership that was both formidable and inspiring. The galaxy stretched before them, vast and full of mysteries, but Kale no longer faced it alone. He had found his place, not just on a ship or in a mission, but beside someone who understood him, respected him, and valued the very essence of what made him human. And as stars passed by the observation deck, Kale realized that this was only the beginning. The adventures ahead would be countless, the dangers unpredictable, and the challenges immense. Yet he was ready. With Vera by his side, he would continue to prove that humans, despite being underestimated across the stars, possessed qualities that could shine in the most extraordinary ways. In the quiet hum of the ship, surrounded by the endless expanse of space, Kale smiled. He had repaid his debt, he had proven his worth, and most unexpectedly of all, he had found love. The galaxy awaited, vast and infinite, and together, human and alien would face it, with courage, ingenuity, and hearts aligned.